G'day guys, welcome back to Beers and Breakevens for round 14, our first major bye round, done and dusted in the rear view mirror. Thank fuck. Timmy, how are we, mate?
Good, mate. What were people concerned about this bye period? Everyone had their 13 plays last week. Easy done. Some have scored better than others, but it wasn't too bad. I think this week's the one people need to worry about.
Yeah, this one's real like boogeyman under the bed stuff. Didn't see it coming.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. Like we did push people towards it and be like, guys, the mini bye rounds round, 14, 17, 20, they can often be a lot harder than the actual major ones, but this one was always in round 13, not too bad. Round 14, some dangerous times ahead.
Very dangerous times, and it could get worse. We've caught wind of a potential rumour that's going to make life very interesting.
Your rumours are often taken well too, so I'm excited.
We'll see. I personally don't know if I buy this one, but I've heard it twice now, and the more you think about it, the more it potentially makes sense, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll get to it, though. It's in the Roo Crew if you want to go and get say it. Kathmandu.
Yo.
Back from the dead.
Back from the dead. I was back for half of last week if you're in the Roo Crew, for example.
Not for the Beers and Breakevens faithful.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm back to normal, and if anything, I'm feeling better than before.
Yeah, it's Origin Day. Timmy's got his Blues trackies on. I've got my hat on. What are you doing for the team?
I had a scarf behind me. I do have all my jerseys here. I mean, I could go put one on if you want.
No, it's fine. I just respectful, but that's fine.
Right.
You got your Puma shoes on?
I do. Thank you to Puma Footy for sending them to me.
Yeah, love that. Unreal. Did you get a jersey from them as well?
Yeah, I got the Sky Blues and the New South Wales Blues. So
nice.
I've got my pick of the two, depending on what mood I'm in.
I like how they call the women's the Sky Blues.
Me too.
Reminds me of the Speed Blitz Blues.
I'd love to get
cricket fame.
Imagine getting Puma on board as a sponsor. The Late Show brought to you by Puma.
I know someone that could make it happen for us.
Yeah. There you go.
Stranger things have happened.
Bit to work with here.
Yeah, old connections over there. She's flying. Now, SuperCoach for this week. I scored.
What's your favourite part of their apparel?
The Blues jumper that I brought 3 weeks ago, which I absolutely fucking love. I wore it on about even today. Might wear it tonight.
Mine are the Puma pants.
The Puma pants.
Super mature to me.
You're a fucking loser.
Shout out to the 12th man for that one.
Yeah, I think we just
I knew that was too good for you. That was way too good for
Billy
you.
Birmingham special from about 20 years ago. I couldn't claim credit.
No. Well, we just lost any potential sponsorship, so thank you, Timmy.
Billy Birmingham, one of the greats. Did I tell you about one of the proudest moments in my life the other day that Tom Birmingham told me about?
What?
He said that he was at the pub with his old man, and his old man went up to get a drink and got himself a bourbon and Coke solely so he could call it a Keith Urban because he loved it so much when he heard me say it. So it's probably the proudest moment of my life.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, Billy Birmingham stole my shit. Love that.
I'd give anything to have a bourbon with Billy Birmingham.
Oh, mate. One of the all-time greats. Heaps better than his son anyway. Okay. I scored on the weekend 917. That pulled me up 3,008 ranks to 9,967. Timbuktu, where are you sitting, my friend?
Mate, I had 843. It was a disappointing score. I didn't even think it was that bad, if I'm being honest. I just went around scores at the end of the league. It's been the story of my year a little bit. My 1 to 17's been pretty solid. I'm just not jagging a lot of the bigger scores each and every week, and there's been a couple of highly owned players who I've gone against a little bit that have gone big. I did have Terrell May, thankfully, so that helped. But yeah, just missing out on a couple of the big ones outside of the big Jermaine Asako week. So 843, and I went up 287 places. So I thought I was dropping for sure, but it was a timely reminder that bye period, these major buy-ins, the mini buy-in this week, huge opportunities to make moves because, as I said, I was bad and went up. So if you can get it right.
Yeah, you are really shit. Kat, how'd you go?
I'm beating you.
Kat, how'd you go?
I had a better week than the one before. 873 was my total score. And I went up 5,900 spots. So,
there you go.
Like you said, you didn't need to do that well to move up. So I think some other teams were in dire straits.
I don't want to get in trouble here and start a fight or anything.
Here we go.
No. I'm like, I actually thought the trades you made were really fucking like. You brought in Jeremy Marshall-King, who
I
did
did
really well.
and I had him VC'd and I should have left it.
We had that
I
conversation,
switched to
didn't we?
Joey Manu,
Easy in hindsight.
of course.
And you also brought in Teddy, which then you moved to Latrell.
I
Followed me
did.
into that.
I did. I saw the Latrell engagement on your post and I wanted to
Good
be a
fella.
part of it.
Great chat we had.
That's eyes up super coaching. Looking ahead to the next week.
Yeah.
Wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
She's getting good, man.
So I guess, sacrificed some points last week.
Did you listen to the show or was that all on a whim? That's a good question. Did you listen to the
Did
show?
you listen to the show,
show,
Kat?
Did you? You didn't.
I was off social media entirely. I didn't watch or listen to
Fucking
anything.
bullshit. Missed me with that.
Also, a
Please.
podcast isn't social media, so
If it's people talking at me in my head, it's definitely not something that I
Because
feel
there was
like,
a little Easter egg in there for you that you've missed.
was there?
Yeah, there was a big one.
Oh, no.
And you won't collect your prize now.
nah.
Well, no one helped me out in
Because
in
we
my-
told them, do not say anything to
Nah,
her. We
you're
want to test
lying.
if she. No, okay,
You're
sure.
lying.
You read the comments in this episode after. Leave in the comments, guys. Was there an Easter egg for Kat last week that she slept on?
She'll listen.
She'll listen. So
Okay.
she should.
Did the troll comment on your trade post?
Yeah, he said he wants an extra large jersey, which I back. Good on you, Latrell.
Right.
Good work.
Right.
Where are we?
Yeah, so Kat, also we'll just leave it there. But the week before was a disappointing one for you, just because you weren't here to face
shocker.
the music and whatnot.
Shocker. It
yeah.
didn't make me feel any better. I'll say that much.
Yeah, tough gig. So I think I haven't done the maths for you, Kat, but for me and Timbo, 32 points separates us.
Can't get
Wow.
away from each other, can
It's
we?
bizarre. It's wild.
I'm firmly entrenched in the top 9,000. I mean, in the 8,000.
Yeah, I'm hanging on to 9,000 by 33 spots. So fingers crossed.
I'm 8,958, so
Wow.
firmly
Okay.
top 8,000.
Now, last week, just catching up on our trades and whatnot, because I obviously had Teddy. I had to change that. I looked to the future. And I went with Latrell Mitchell. I've brought him in. Happy with that move. You ended up making one trade?
Made one. So you saved two, did you?
No, I made two trades. Also I had the decision between White and Radley, and thankfully I spent an extra 200K to get 20 less points and not dual position. So that was good. Shout out to you, the Inflictor. Appreciate that, brother. Good gear. What'd you do?
Mate, I made one on Sunday, again, preempting what was coming this week. I was looking at my numbers, and I think before any outs and team lists and all that were occurring, I had, it might have been 17 pre-trades. So I thought, with two trades, 19, but a couple of weaker players in there, I was just a little bit nervous. I hadn't made any trades. This week I was always going Angus Crichton to Ellie Katoa. That was locked and loaded. So I did that Sunday morning just to get ahead of the pack a little bit and just a bit of reassurance. So, and with names going, like Nicho already gone, we've got another one coming up shortly. I'm very happy that I did.
Yeah, no, good call. So I've currently got 20 trades left.
21.
What do you got?
25.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, see you next week. Good gear. All right, that covers all bases. Have you got the About Even League for a very quick summary of how we're tracking or anything like that?
Do you want to just know total scores
Just tell
at
us
this
where we are
point?
on the ladder.
Okay. As of the most recent round, you guys really there's nothing between you. But Kuma Stallions, you're ahead.
Yes.
14,317. And Guru Grizzlies, you're not far behind, 14,285.
Oh, that's just our overall score.
That's your
No,
overall.
where are we on the ladder? On a
Yeah,
bit?
yeah.
Oh, no, don't
3 and
worry about it.
We'll
do it
3 and
next.
4. 3 and 4.
Who's three?
You.
Yeah.
Who's 1 and 2?
Wazza and Cody.
Fucking Cody Totes, motherfucker. All right. Anything else? We have got the winners for this week. Now, footballs are on their way, so stay tuned for those. They'll be coming in the next few weeks. My man Slade will be dropping them in very, very soon. Shout out to him as well.
Slade Griffin.
Slade Griffin.
Great name.
So they'll be here soon. Shout out to Jet with a double T. His team name is Wooden Spoon. He scored 1,149 this week. Jet with a double T. Send your home address to beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. We have a hat coming out to you, a football in the next few weeks, and we might even be selling some hats to the general public in the next few weeks. But you'll have to wait and see about that. I don't know. I can't confirm anything. It's a wacko's whisper, Timmy.
Wacko's whisper.
We'll wait until we get Adam Styles' late mail to confirm.
That was good chat. Then it
was
just got
So,
weird.
so cryptic.
It was good. Then got very weird. Wacko, the OG late mail man, I reckon.
Oh, definitely the OG.
Yeah,
late
from the
mail.
telly.
Yeah, good man. I assume so. I don't know. I've only ever seen his Twitter.
Yeah, he's a good man,
Or
Wacko.
X, as Kat calls it, because she's young and hip.
Yeah.
Far out. I'm just here doing my
You just
thing,
got
guys.
belting to me.
All right, let's talk some Supercoach, Root.
Also, are we closing the group this week?
It's gone. Closed.
Closed.
If you're not in, you can't win.
Fanato.
6K. Yeah.
Finn.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Unlucky. Okay, let's have a look at the team list for this week, Timmy. And we thought that we would chuck in a little bit of a different angle this week. Obviously, people backing up from Origin. We're going to go through each game. We're going to talk about the changes, but we're also just going to touch on the odds of guys backing up in each game, how we see it playing out. So for the Dragons,
And what's just on that, like, you get your skeptics and very glass half full people that hear you doing that, like, oh, you're just, guessing this and that. I'm like, half my Supercoach decisions through the Origin period are based on whether I think people will back up or not.
Yeah.
Like, I make so many decisions. Like, I literally sold Angus Crichton off the back of this exact thing.
yeah. So nothing 100% confirmed. We're just giving you our opinion, which is the whole fucking show. So deal with it. For the Dragons, mate, they've pretty much been named the same side as they did last week. The guys that we are looking at, though, Ben Hunt, Jaden Sewer, Zach Lomax. Dare I say, Ben Hunt probably playing 30 minutes. I reckon he backs up.
Yeah, and he always has.
Yeah.
He always has. The 2-day turnaround is the interesting one. It's very short. If he plays 30 to 40 minutes, he will back up. If for whatever reason he was to play 70 odd and it was through the middle, it might be a different story.
Yeah. Thankfully, not a guy that should impact too many of you. Jaden Sewer, also a guy that won't really impact too many of you. I reckon he's probably the least likely to back up. I reckon he plays 80 minutes on an edge.
Agreed.
Zach Lomax, I personally would be very surprised if he doesn't back up.
Yeah, I think he'll back up. I mean, the only thing be if he does come out and run for 240 metres or something and cop some bumps and bruises, that quick turnaround. But I do expect him to back up, but it's a very quick turnaround.
I don't think the Dragons can afford to not have Zach Lomax this
I'm with
week.
you.
I think they have to lock up a win. For the Tigers, no major changes here. Alex Lobb on the wing. I think he came on for a little Michelle Pfeiffer the other day at the back end as 18th man. Gets an opportunity. Also, a goal kicker. Are we talking about him later?
We're talking about him later.
Okay, we'll leave him for a little bit later. Outside of that, nothing huge with the West Tigers. 12 in the front row. Matamura in 13. Fino still on the edge. Not much to touch on. And no Origin players there for the Tigs either. Let's move to Super Saturday. We've got the Titans and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. For the Titans, worth noting Jaden Campbell on the extended bench. Will either play this week or is closing in on a return. Dave Fafita gets a 2-week spell of being filthy after missing Origin to come out and give it to South Sydney, which is very exciting for everyone except Kat, which I can't wait for. We'll talk about captain soon. He'll get a feature. When it comes to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, mate, starting to take shape. They're starting to look more and more like a footy side each week. We get to see Cody Walker and Jack Whiten for the first time, I believe, which I'm super excited about. Outside of that, mate, anything you want to touch on with this game? We don't really have... We've got a few Origin players like Mo Fodawaker, who I don't think that'll impact people too much. Anything you want to touch on here?
No.
Nah. Latrell Mitchell 200 this week. And
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys, New Zealand Warriors. This is where it gets very interesting. Cowboys essentially remain the same as last week. On their extended bench, though, it might be the greatest extended bench of all time, less Tom Duffy. Val Holmes, Murray Tuolungi, Tommy Dearden, Reece Robson, Jeremiah Denai, Ruben Cotter. Let's go one by one. Val Holmes, I believe he's got a good history of backing up.
Always backs up.
Always backs up. Playing him in draft this weekend. Don't love that.
The big thing about these assumptions as well is, do the team need wins? Do they need them to back up or do they not? So we'll get to Penrith shortly, but do they need players to back up? Not really. Do the Cowboys? Yes.
Murray Tuolungi.
Yep.
Tom Dearden.
Yep.
Now it gets interesting. Reece Robson, 80 minutes. New South Wales Blues hooker. At best case scenario, 60 minutes.
16 hours ago, I'd have said the biggest chance for a rest. I still think he's the biggest chance for a rest. Jake Granville injured out. Look at the bloke who's been named at number 9.
I'm a huge Sam McIntyre guy. Not as a hooker.
Is there anyone I'm missing in this squad who can play number 9?
No one really jumping out to me. Tommy Chester has been named in jersey 14, which is really interesting.
Who's a fullback?
Fullback centre, yeah.
So there's no other number 9 in the squad. So based on the squad named, I think they're really going to need him to back up because they don't have anyone else.
Yeah.
So because of the squad, if Granville was fit, I would say huge chance at arrest on the 3-day turnaround from Origin. But with no Granville there, I think they need him to play.
Interesting. Jeremiah and I.
What do you think?
You make a very valid point. I wouldn't be surprised if they just tough it out with a McIntyre and a Chester, just pick the ball up and pass the fucking thing. I don't love it, but
yeah,
mate, it's there's a lot of strain on Reece Robson as it is. They now don't have another if Reece Robson goes out and gets hurt, they're fucking.
How do they not have another 9 in the squad? There must be someone there that might be injured or something. They're just low, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I personally think Tommy Chester could actually do a job there.
Yeah, and look, I don't know the ins and outs of a few of these blokes, so maybe he can. Maybe he's played there before.
Okay. What about Ruben Cotter, mate? You'd have to assume he plays big minutes in Origin, but do they? I mean, the forwards were great last week. Do they just back him in?
My tip, backs up, plays off the bench, plays 30 minutes pending match scenario.
Okay.
But also, if he plays big minutes for the Maroons, a rest. If he played 65 for the Maroons, it probably rests.
Which, given their bench, they've got Harry Grant and Selwyn Cobbo on there. He could quite possibly. Yeah. For the Wars, no Origin implications here, but a lot of players back in. I'll just go through their side quickly. CNK, DWZ, Berry, Pompey, Montoya, CHT and TMM in the halves. AFB named in the front row, thank God, along with Wade Egan, thank fuck. Jackson Ford moves into the front row. Marata Nair, Corre and Mitchie Barnett on the edges. Tohu Harris in jersey 13. Walker, Jazz, Tom Ale and Kurt Capewell on the bench there.
Oh, you're still a Wade Egan owner.
Yeah, you fucking bet I am.
Oh,
a proud Wade Egan owner.
How was your relief when you saw Egan and AFB? Far out.
Yeah, it would have been panic stations if those guys weren't named. I still want to see them run out, to be completely honest with you.
AFB was stood down for one game. They came out, they addressed it like he was always coming back.
Yeah, just a lot of noise. It would be interesting to see the AFB we get over the next few weeks. Late game, Saturday night, Brisbane.
Just on Warriors.
Yep.
I was genuinely interested in Sean Johnson. When I did up the plan for the playbook potty last night, he was the 81st most traded in player. I couldn't believe that coming back this week with good coverage coming up. It's irrelevant now because he hasn't been named, but yeah.
Yeah, halfbacks, we'll talk about it soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting spot. For the Bronx, they've named pretty much all their Origin players. Reece Walsh, Selwyn Cobbo, Ezra Mann will come out of the squad and feature. Payne Haas has been named. Paddy Carrigan in jersey 13. I don't know, man. I reckon Reece Walsh backs up. I reckon Selwyn Cobbo backs up. Haas and Carrigan, I'm not convinced on. I reckon they could play smaller minutes. I reckon this Broncos team taking on this Sharks team without Nicho will be reasonably confident to back other guys in, to be honest with you.
Interesting confidence on Walsh. He's been limping around. Like, the game against the Titans prior to the bye, he was pretty crazy. He was limping around the whole time, but when it came to go time and there was an attacking movement, he would just explode. But he's clearly hampered by because he missed the week before with tightness of some sort. I think Walsh has every chance to not back up. When's his game? Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Yeah, 3-day turnaround.
Well, I mean, they've got Tristan Saylor on the extender. They've got Jaden Hunt, just like Josiah Karapani. They've got guys to be able to do it. So.
I think Walsh has more chance to rest than he is to play.
Interesting.
I think he could play, don't get me wrong, but I think he's more chance to rest.
Interesting, okay. I know that Billy Slater puts a big emphasis on telling these guys, you go back to clubland, you do your fucking job. So it'll be an interesting little watch there.
Yeah. And then Carrigan Haas, if they don't rest, they'll definitely play lesser minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, take that in. For the Sharkies, mate, Cam McInnes. He has been named in jersey 13. We'll see how that plays out. Teague Wilton out. Sifa Talakai comes onto the edge. I don't mind that. Outside of that, shout out to Brett Nicholas, who couldn't score 50 points of his life for a line on it, which is good. Always good for me. The big news, though, no Nicho Hynes, which I was saying to Kate yesterday, how wild is it that Dylan Edwards goes into Origin camp without an injury cloud, gets injured, gets ruled out, gets named this week. Nicho Hynes comes in with an injury cloud, is playing the game, but isn't even named for the Sharks on the weekend.
That's why rugby league is the greatest game of all, because it's a circus.
It's a fucking circus. All the clowns are out and about. Mate, anything else to touch on with that Sharkies
Well,
side?
are we talking Nicho now or are we talking Nicho later? Do we want to talk Nicho in trades?
Nicho now, Nicho later. What are you thinking?
Nicho now.
Nicho now. I don't know. I hope that helps you all at home. I'm hoping you can guide me a little bit.
I normally do, Root.
Normally do. Talk to me.
Here is my thought. Break even of almost 200, injury cloud. That being said, the Blues are playing him. If they were too concerned about... Here's the other thing. They currently don't really have cover for him even. They haven't picked Burton on the bench. So they must be pretty confident he's all good. I love what the Fitzgibbon are doing and going, look, we're sitting, are they still top of the table or near enough? If they're not top, might be second or third, I don't know, after the 2 losses. Long season ahead. Nicho key to their premiership hopes. I just love that Fitzy's gone, we're not even going to play games. We're not even going to tempt fate. Mate, just have the week off. Get yourself right after Origin. Focus on that. Supercoach-wise, this is how I see it. If the Blues win, Nicho plays well, and he looks like holding that spot, I will be trading because he will miss round 14, round 16, round 17, and then probably round 19 as well, with the potential for not backing up round 20. If the Blues, God forbid, they lose and Nicho plays bad, or the Blues win tight one and he plays bad, I think Mitch Moses could get catapulted into the halves and Nicho drops out, in which case he will play next week. They have the bye 16, but he'd probably play around 19 against the Tigers. There's some good matchups in there. People are already getting lower and lower on trades. You're going to want to get Nicho Hynes back in your team. I don't really want to use a trade to get him out and then back in when I could just hold him. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, my big worry is that over the next 10 weeks of my 20 trades I've got left, if I sell Nicho, it means I'm going to have to use 3 trades on just solely getting Nicho out, getting him in and getting Nath Cleary back in, which I don't love.
Cleary as well, yeah.
And I'm going to have to generate money to buy them both because unlike Kat, I don't have $2.8 million sitting in my bank ready to use whenever. She's like the Wallabies over there, just ready to fucking pounce.
And the players you do it for, Jerome Hughes, Mitch Moses, who would also be Origin concern as well at different stages. People are talking Cody Walker. All these blokes at the moment, they're 65, 70 averaging players. They're not the Nicho and Cleary types that can go 100 plus quite easily. So it's like, is it worth it?
And that's my big concern, mate, that the only guys that I really like out of those options, I like Mitch Moses, but even if we win tonight, every chance I'd be bringing Mitch into the next game, to be honest with you. And Cody Walker, who, because I've got Latrell, I'm sort of thinking, do I maybe go the Cody Walker daily double there? But I think there's every chance Cody Walker could play game 2 and game 3 as well.
Potentially.
I wouldn't rule it out. If we get done.
If we get done tonight, sends shivers down my spine even thinking about it. But if we do, they could have new halves.
Yeah. Jerome Hughes is a big talking point, mate. I don't love it. I've taken the Jerome Hughes gamble before, and my God, it has dry fucked me. It has just fucking finished seasons for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
I'm not as huge on it. You've obviously got Eli Katoa, which helps that
Do you
argument. Nah. Got Victor Radley and Britton Nicholas, mate. The fuck is Eli Katoa?
Yeah, I was about to say, I just... Because you were so I know you're just a fiend for a combo. And I thought you had Ellie. And then
if I had Ellie, then I would probably lean more towards it. There's every chance I'd do that in the next 2 weeks.
As soon as you said Jerome Hughes, no-go, or you were going against him, you don't own Ellie.
I don't own Ellie, yeah. So that's, if I owned Ellie, it might be a different story. But yeah.
Not getting him?
Not as it stands right now.
Cut this up, Kat. By the end of this show, Or by the time the round rolls around,
You'll
Guru's
have
going to have Eli
convinced him.
Katoa in his team. So
If
add it
our
to the
mail is correct that we're going to talk about soon, then that's not a chance because I'm going to have to make a move somewhere else. But we'll see.
list. You'll have Eli Katoa.
I'm
will
getting Eli
see.
Katoa. Since you all
Cat
asked.
gets it. Cat
I
gets
get it.
Supercoach.
Some people just get it.
Yeah, some people.
It's kind of like Origin.
Like,
Sometimes
yeah.
you just
So you're going to buy Eli Katoa this week?
yeah. I've got a full plan. I've got a full plan as to how I can bring him in.
Okay.
We
get to
even
that
talked
very
about it
soon.
last week. So
I don't recall, but sure.
Rue, can you buy some internet that works? Because Tim's stat deep dive is going to be pretty ordinary if you don't.
Use your phone. You'll be
I'm
right,
using
dickhead.
my phone.
Do you need me to donate my hotspot to you, Timmy?
Fucking
We'll-
Timmy Williams, honestly, wouldn't
get
shout
there.
on a roller coaster.
We'll
the
get
poor
there
bastard.
shortly. If we don't get it by then, Cat, I'll hit you up. Thanks.
Okay, let's have a look at on that note, let's move to the next game. Melbourne Storm Newcastle. Now, I think Billy Slater will put a big emphasis on the Origin boys to back up. I'm expecting Harry Grant to back up. How many minutes he plays, I'm not too sure, but I think he will feature in this one. Outside of that, is he the only... Xavier Coates, who surely he backs up at his age and everything coming off the sting.
The only thing is, has he missed games this season with hamstring injury? I believe he has.
I think so, yeah.
That'd be the only concern. Again, Melbourne playing good footy, top end of the table. I think the issue is that because Pappy's out and Farlongo, one of the regular winger options, he's at fullback. You've got Will Warbrick who's injured. They are a little bit light on for wingers. I think if they had options there, they would consider resting him because of the hamstring concerns that he's had. But he has that bit longer turner. I think he probably plays, but it wouldn't shock me to see him sit.
Yeah, fair. The bigger talking point, though, and we get to the Newcastle Knights. Now, I can't emphasise this enough, that this is just a rumour floating around. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it's a little bit harsh if it is true, but we'll wait and see. Timmy, I have heard there is a chance that David Armstrong might not play this weekend and Fletcher Sharp might make his debut. I've been told that Fletcher Sharp's been told he's playing this weekend. So whatever the hell that means, I'm not too sure. I don't know if I believe it yet, to be honest with you guys. So we'll just wait and see. But one to keep an eye on because that could change plans this weekend massively.
It's huge, isn't it? It wouldn't shock me. I don't, like, even Supercoach aside, I don't like it. Like, he had a bad game in the wet last weekend. The whole team were terrible.
Yeah.
He's also relies on his speed for a lot of his work, attacking opportunity. He just didn't get it last weekend. Pardon me, sorry. And he'd been so good in the weeks prior. I think he had one semi-down week, but I think there was 3 weeks where he was absolutely killing it outside it. Like, he destroyed the Titans. I think he should stay in that team. However, when I saw the gameplay out on the weekend, I thought we knew that Fletcher Sharp was close anyway. It wouldn't surprise me. From a Supercoach standpoint, I own him along with 80-odd% of top-ranked coaches. I'm relatively well covered for numbers this week. A lot of people aren't. I kind of want him to be out.
Yeah, I don't want him to be out this week. If he's out, and this is what I say, if as appealing as the Eli Katoa play is, if Armstrong's out, I probably need to make a move somewhere, and he might be the guy to go. We'll have to work that out as we work it out. But I do think it's interesting, Timmy, and obviously this is looking through the lens now that we've got this rumour, and is it true or isn't it true? I do think it was interesting. Adam O'Brien last week spoke very heavily in his presser about the Knights reading their own press. Man, the only guy that was in the press last week was Armstrong, signing with Roosters and signing blah, 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 blah. So that's the only thing that makes me think maybe this one is on the money. We'll have to wait and see, though.
It'll leave a lot of people short of CT Dub. Like, as it stands, no, I could probably cover it, but like I've got Manu Young and Asako, as a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So like, if Armstrong added to that, I'd be short of CT Dub. So it'd mean I'd be doing a free loop, but I'd also be getting very close to that 17 player mark anyway, so it wouldn't change that much.
I think I would have 16, and I would probably just wear it this week, is my play. I know you don't like that, but I hate using trades just to have 17 when you're getting in a guy that you don't really want, and I'm just not sure if the guy's there for me. But we'll see how it plays out. They could lead down an Eli Katoa path. We will see. I'm happy to fall on the sword. I've got no problem
It
with
hasn't
that.
even been 4 minutes since Timmy said that.
Kat, I am happy to do whatever is best for the team, okay?
Yeah.
I'm an Origin player.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. I am without Manu, Young, and Simi Sasagi's out too. Shit. Really need Lomax to back up, or I'm in a little bit of curry there. Okay. So, keep an eye on Fletcher Sharp to potentially come into that side. Let's move on to the next game. Sunday afternoon, we've got the Panthers and the Sea Eagles. For the Panthers, they have named all of their Origin players on the not all of them, to be fair. Brian Toto is on the extent. Brian Toto has been named in the starting side. They've got Jerome Luai on the starting side. They've got Liam Martin on the starting side. Isaiah Yeo on the starting side. Forgive my little conniption there.
They actually named every one of them to start.
Every single one of them. But named on the extended bench, you've obviously got your Jesse McLean, your Eisenhuth, your Preston Rickies, your Tyron Peachies. So I think this is very much still in the air. Interesting talking point is Dylan Edwards, mate. Neither of us own him. Kathmandu doesn't own him either, Dylan Edwards. A lot of people out there do have paid big bicky to get a slice of Dylan Edwards. It's obviously a wait and see. If he doesn't play this week, what would be your advice to people? Hold, sell, what are they thinking?
What happens tonight in Origin? Because
Yeah.
if the Blues get done, Teddy won't play bad. Teddy never plays bad, but Dylan Edwards is the first choice. If the Blues win, Teddy goes well, Teddy stays there for game 2. If the Blues get done, it'll be very harsh to not bring Dylan Edwards back in. If it's that minor a freaking concern that he's been named on the extended bench, firstly, surely Dylan Edwards doesn't play. Like, if Nicho Hynes is under that small injury cloud and the Blues are playing him, if the injury concern is that minimal and if it's a bit of tightness in the quad or whatever they said it was for Edwards, I can't see him playing.
You know what else is really interesting, mate? I speak about this Jesse McLean quite a bit. He's got a younger brother, Casey McLean. I believe Casey this week got added to the top 30. So they could have named him instead of Edwards if they wanted to have an extra number
Did
there.
he really?
I could be wrong. Maybe do your own research there. But I just find it bizarre that Edwards is named there. But we'll have to wait and see.
Could it just be Ivan Cleary just playing games because he can, just to screw with people?
It's working.
Yeah.
It's got me in a fucking pretzel.
Backups.
Yeah.
Go through them.
The backups for Penrith.
Yeah.
You got Schneider, Maverick Guy, Matty Eisen.
No. Who backs up from Origin?
Right, gotcha. Oh, this has been a tough turn, Wes. This has been tough. Okay. Brian Toto. He'll run for 400 metres. What are we thinking?
Rest.
I feel like Tolla's going to back up. He's built different.
I think Ivan's the hardest person to predict what the fuck's going to happen with
I
these guys.
think that the Panthers do not desperately need the win. I think I used to be so critical of Ivan. He just always used to back players up after Origins and he'd play him in shit games at the end of the year where they didn't need to and they had minor premierships thrown up, etc. Last year, he began to rest players after Origin. He learnt from it. He had Nathan Cleary back up after Origin 1 last year, I believe it was, and did his hamstring. He then brought Nathan Cleary back early again this year, did his hamstring. I think he's learning from this. For a bloke with an almost faultless resume, I think the only thing that I can say that he's got wrong in recent years is backing players up when he hasn't needed to, and I think he's learnt from that. And I would be shocked if many of these players backed up this week. Playing on Sunday helps a lot because it is an extended turnaround. So they may, but I don't think many of them will back up.
The other factor that I think is worth taking into consideration, Ivan and the Penrith Panthers are competitive as fuck after losing at home last week. Playing at home again after the back of a very poor performance, it wouldn't shock me. I agree with you. I would be resting them. It wouldn't shock me if he does play them all.
So last year, this is just the Toto example, but I'm pretty sure he mass rested everyone. He backed the players up after Origin 1. Nathan Cleary does his hamstring.
Yep.
Great move. After Origin 2, rested them all. Well, this is Toto, but I'm pretty sure it's all of them. After Origin 3, rested. So he rested them for 2 and 3. I think he'll do the same this year.
Interesting. We'll wait and see. Jerome Luai is the other one there, along with Liam Martin. Surely Liam Martin gets a spell, right?
I think Liam Martin will definitely not play.
Isaiah Yeo. Guess it depends on his role for New South Wales.
Minutes will be the big one.
Yeah.
If he plays like 50 plus, I reckon he rests. If he does happen to play like 50, sub 50, he'll be a chance to back up.
Interesting. All right, Manly Seagulls. Big news. Lehigh Opawade. Looks like he's sewn up that one jersey. I reckon we had the argument 5 times in the off-season. Who's the next fullback after Turbo? Kohler or Garrick? Lehigh Opawade didn't get a feature on the old bingo card. So shout out to him. Very impressive. Outside of that, mate, Ches, 35 years of age. Do they just need him too much?
Ches will back up. Ches always backs up.
Olakau'atu?
I don't think he'll play enough minutes to not back up, will he?
Yeah, I think he'll be there. Gerbo?
I think he will back up, but how many minutes do we see him playing for the Blues?
Oh, fuck knows.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
I've got no idea.
I think it'll be minute dependent, but I think at the very least, I think he will play off the bench and might play 30 or 40 minutes for Manly. I think he'll be there.
Yeah, it just depends how the strain on that neck's going from the Man of the Match award. Okay, let's move to Monday footy. We're going to be there.
We are.
Really looking forward to this one. The Canterbury Bulldogs versus the Parramatta Eels for the Doggies. Obviously, this game's on Monday. It's pretty much a week after Origin. I think Critter backs up for sure. I think Matty Burton, depending on how heavy the waters are that he's carrying, I think he will be fit and available. Outside of that, mate, not a heap to touch on with this Canterbury side. Anything you want to chuck in there?
The only one I just want to touch on, and I agree, those boys will definitely back up. And just Sam Hughes, a lot of people selling him this week. I understand if they're getting ahead of next week with the Doggies on the bye, numbers-wise, etc. in the front row, but he played 15 minutes last week with 15 points. He'd played in these 7 games prior to that. I think it was like 35-plus minutes. Gus Gould said on Twitter, he's a rookie. He's been playing pretty big minutes for a front rower. We had an early lead, etc., so we gave him the spell. So in a week where we're desperate for numbers, particularly in a position like front row, I think his break-even's like mid to late 60s. He'll drop a bit of cash this week, but I think he's fine to play, and I think he goes back to his 35 minutes and not dire straits.
And even though I thought last week was going to be tight for Canterbury too, I think this is going to be a very tight game.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a cracker. For the Parramatta Seals, Clint Gutherson at fullback, Mitch Moses in the 7. Once again, the big news though, mate, Blaze Talangi comes into the centre spot. I do not like him as a centre, and I will be looking very closely at an anytime try scorer of whoever's going up against him. But if you are a Blaze Talangi owner, you got away with a 0 last week, which was probably better than a 1 or a 2. Shout out to Supercoach, who gave him 2 points at one point, which was fucking hilarious. Great troll. What are your thoughts on Blaze, mate?
Yeah, when the teams came out, this was the first one I went to, and I wasn't even an owner. Saw him named at centre. They suspected that Bailey Simonson out for this season, ACL, I believe, which is devastating for him. But it's a big win for Blaze owners. They get break-evens -19, so he gets a big cash rise and just a valuable number for owners this week. I'd give anything to see Morgan Harper come into the starting team, but look, they've played Blaze at centre earlier this season, and it's a huge win in a week where people needed him.
Jermaine Hopgoat, named in jersey 13. I'm expecting Jermaine to back up.
As you said, mate, it's almost a week later he'll play.
I reckon he'll be there. Big game, big rivalry game.
He's also not going to play huge minutes for the Maroons.
Yeah, you would assume not. So I'm expecting him to be there. Ryan Madison on the extended as well. I guess we just want to send all the best to Maddo. Sounds like a bit of a weird situation there.
Just dizzy spells, poor bugger.
Yeah. I think just the other one to touch on too, mate, not that it's overly Supercoach relevant, but one that I found interesting. For the Manly Seagulls on the extended bench, Jake Simpkin already there. Hasn't been named in New South Wales Cup. I reckon there's every chance he comes in and plays.
Yeah.
Hope Lockie Groker's sweet. Optics aren't great there.
We had concern because I think they said it was a neck issue or something, and then as soon as you saw the signing news of Simpkin, you went, oh, God, this could be a bit nasty. So.
Yeah. So want to wish Lockie Croker, one of the good guys, all the very best. Finn, Durs, and the Roosters on the bye this weekend. All right. Oh, boy. I feel like I need a nap, Timbo. Okay, Blue Wealth Property. You can RSVP to the event below. We've obviously got the the link in the description that you can go and sign up there. Thursday, the 6th of June. So that is tomorrow night. So it's out at Homebush, or you can go via the webinar there. Can you go via the webinar? Yeah, via webinar, 6:30 p.m. So 6:30 p.m. at Homebush. You can go back-to-back nights at Homebush. We've got a little something special coming for you on next week's episode. I sat down during the week with Tony and the great Morts, and we met Hannah and Sam, who came in, who have actually brought a property via Beers and Breakevens into Blue Wealth property, and they told their story, which, you know what, Timmy, I've sort of, until I was sitting there the other day, I thought, isn't it fucking insane that people can make life-changing decisions based on us two pelicans sitting here giving them advice? But then I heard the story and how they went about it via Blue Wealth property, and I went, you know what? It actually makes sense. So anyone out there that is sitting on the fence or whatnot, next week is an absolute must-watch. I haven't shown it to you yet, but I think you're going to be very impressed, mate.
Excited to have a listen to it, mate. You took the carry there and sorted that out, and it is terrifying that people listen to this and make life-changing decisions, but I'm very confident they're doing it listening to the experts in Tony and Mort and not your and I's opinions on where you should invest.
And that's where you're wrong. I think it was all me, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll have to wait for the
I'm taking the try assist. Tony, you got a little TC. Chuck your little 4 points, kid. But yeah, great episode coming next week. But tomorrow night, helping your kids into the property market, live at Blue Wealth HQ in Sydney Olympic Park and via the webinar, 6:30 p.m. You've got a couple of kids running around in Cooma back there. Might be handy for you.
Oh, that's a good rumour.
Oh, I got nothing. I got nothing for that.
Link is in the description. Shout out to Blue Wealth Property, always supporting us, and stay tuned for next week. A huge episode incoming. All right, we've got Tim's stat deep dive.
I liked it the other week when Kat got involved in that as well.
Sorry.
So just for future reference.
Yeah.
Really gets me G'd up for the segment.
And last week we actually had a cameo appearance by my grandparents as we started
Yeah.
the deep dive too, which was super exciting.
Yeah, but I did know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good gear.
Yeah.
Unreal. Shout out to them.
Legends.
Take it away, Timbo. Keon Kolomantangi.
Who?
Keon Kolomantangi.
Kalamatangi.
Kolomantangi.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know. You added a couple of letters.
Column Matangi.
All right. Apologies.
All right. Last week prior to the bye against the Parramatta Eels, 133 points. Roo, he played through the middle. 61 points in base.
Oh, baby.
He's 584K, break even of -1. Prior to that outing, though, as an edge player in a very ordinary Bunnies outfit, one score over 55 in 10 games. It does scream to me of chasing last week's points. However, there has been a positional switch, and he's gone to the middle where he played 80. So that has to impact it. Get this, though. Took a deeper dive, because when I saw his average and not being the best, and then I saw season base is 49. When I saw season base of 49 and season average of 50, it'll come up in a minute, I just went, it doesn't add up. I'm like, how can you have base like that and average in the mid-50s? So he's averaging 61. That was after the 133 as well, mind you. Have a go at this for his attacking stats this season. In 10 games prior to that game against the Eels, he had no tries, no try assists, one line break, and one line break assist. This is Keon Koloamatangi, one of the best attacking edge back rollers in the NRL. He just did not have any attack before that game.
Yeah, wow. And I think with one line break, that probably would have put him at the top of line breaks for South Sydney, right?
I'm not even responding to that.
Shot.
Yeah, that's wild though. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking it just screams of chasing last week's points. And granted, he did score a double in the middle in his last game, but there's going to be less attacking stats in the middle than there is on the edge. But when I look at how little attack he's had, he plays round 16 and 19, the next two major bye rounds, as well as this one, which is vital. I get it.
I get it. I think there is a little bit of Scotty Sattler chasing points there, but not for me. But yeah, I can see the merit in it.
I wish we had a 2-game sample size of his minutes in the middle and his base in the middle, just because it just does it feels like chasing points to me. So I'm not doing it for that reason, but Like, if this was to become a regular 80-minute middle roll and the base was even 50 plus, he's a goer.
What's doing with Cam Murray? Is he...
He's listed around like 16 or 17.
Because I saw him in training pictures yesterday. He looked to me moving pretty, like he didn't have a bib on or anything, and he was running around.
Right, he might not be that far then.
That's the only thing that worries me. But
I suppose but at the end of the day, he's still a pretty cheap 80-minute edge back rower that has had no attacking stats. So it's still not like a bad buy if you were to move to the edge again.
yeah, for sure. And I think once that South Sydney side, I can see myself in it's a few weeks away still, but I can see myself looking at a pod play of a Campbell Graham or a Keon once that edge is
Their
back at full strength.
Also mad. They go Titans, Broncos, Manly, got a bye in round 17, Eels, Dolphins, Tigers, Raiders. So it's like a great draw.
Yeah, it's not bad. Mate, Hands will do it. Brendan Hands, talk to me.
Very popular trade in this week. We've spoken a lot about Parramatta Eels number 9s, haven't we? You're not keen already?
Oh, how do you know he's going to hold the role? Like, fuck, haven't we spent enough time on fucking trades on hookers that we don't like?
So,
I don't know. Convince me.
Nah, I'll be doing no such thing. But played the 80 against the Sharks last week as the sole hooker, named as the sole hooker again this week. In that game, 51 tackles, 65 points. He's 246K with a negative 20 break even. Plays the third major buy round. Did a bit of a dive because I was like, I've seen people saying he'll be a 60-plus averaging player, yada, yada, yada. 7 games of playing 72-plus minutes last season. He averaged 49.5 points per game, which I think is what you'd expect if you bought him in and he kept it. But look, Roo, my issue's the same as you. I can see why people bring him in, free him up cash. If he's an 8-minute hooker, he's a very viable player each week if needed. It's just job security with Joey Lussick, isn't it? Like, does he hold the spot? Does it become a shared role at any time? What do you reckon?
Mate, I'm worried about Joey Lussick. I'm worried about if he plays a poor game. I think I think Matt Arthur's on a development contract, which means they could bring him in if they wanted to as well. I don't know. I get it. I understand that he's cheap. You make a bit of money, but unless you're Cat with 1,000 fucking trades, I don't know how you can be spending trades on hookers like this again.
Yeah, and I'm happy because I've got Jaden Brayley and Reece Robson, so I'm like, they're fine. Like, in a world you could sell Robson, but no need to. But I think there'd probably be Danny Levi owners out there flipping him on.
Okay.
Maybe there's still Joey Lussick owners out there looking to flip him on. So I get that trade.
Yeah, if you're one of those two, okay. But I just think you'll be trading this guy in a few more weeks, and I don't know who you're going to go to. What's going to be the play? I don't know. Maybe I'm just got the blinkers on because I've just buried hooker and gone, I don't give a fuck. I'll deal with it later. But I will not be trading in another hooker this year not named Harry Grant.
Yeah, I feel very similar.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll get to this bloke in a second.
Next man on your list here is Paul Alamotti. Looks like we won't be seeing Taylor May anytime soon. Alamotti's got that spot locked down. I'm a little bit iffy on Alamotti, but I'm keen to hear what you think.
Yeah, look, I'm not that keen on him, but people are. As a pod play this week, 504K, has the goal kicking duties in a red-hot Penrith Panthers outfit is the main thing there with Nathan Cleary out. The issue, though, is Dylan Edwards getting named because he's obviously not that far away. So the appeal of Alamotti is the goal kicking in this team. But look, for now, no Nathan Cleary, no Dylan Edwards. Terrible origin coverage for overall focused players. So doesn't play around 16 or 19. They're on the bye those 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks as well, 36 in base. He scored 96 and 67 in that period. I can see why people are keen. My concern is, mate, I think defensively he hasn't been up to scratch and it's never been a strong part of his game. Ivan Cleary's not going to be scared to make a big decision. No, it's not a big decision, but I don't think he's got good job security, or not as good as people think.
No, I don't think he's got good job security either. And I know, we can probably talk better than anyone. This season, watching fucking Jerome Luai come off his left foot and never pass to his left centre, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, it was awful.
No fucking way. Miss me with that. I think there's a lot of red flags here that don't appeal to me, not to mention, you're buying a guy that's got a buy in round 16 and 19. I don't love that either. So it's a hard pass for me.
Me too.
No thanks. Let's talk about another CTW, mate, that most people probably won't know too much about. Lob, who came from the Dragons last year, made his way over to the West Tigers. I was having a look through his SuperCoach stats last night. Far from appealing to me. Could be the goal kicker in this side, though. But once again, it's not like the Tigers are scoring tries that are going out of fashion. So I'm keen to hear what you think, but probably not for me. What are your thoughts?
The point on Alex Lobb is actually the goal kicking impact on Api Coruscant, who, when we talked about hookers before, Coruscant's one who I am interested in because he's at a really nice price now. He's dropped down. He had 3 scores, I think, of 36 in a row. And during that period, he was dealing with those back spasms and he just wasn't himself, had no attack, etc. Last 2 weeks, playing 80 minutes or big minutes and scoring well, and he's back low break even. Plays round 16, plays round 19. I think he's a genuine trading option as the goal-kicking number 9 that plays big minutes with attacking upside. The Lob impact of goal-kicking, I've seen a few concerns. Could he take over the goal-kicking? So I just went back and had a little bit of a look at his goal-kicking in recent seasons. His kick goals in New South Wales Cup the last 2 years and this percentage isn't like terrific. Kicked at 72% this year, 76% last year. So with all the chat of him being a goal-kicking winger, I sort of expected to go back and see 80+%. But with percentages like that, I'd be surprised if he took over Appy because Appy hits him pretty well.
Yeah, he hits him well, Appy. And look, I'm not it's good to see Lob get an opportunity. If he's not in the team next week, I won't be shocked in the slightest. I don't think he's locked to even stay in the team. So, I've already got Appy, so I hadn't even considered people buying him or whatever. But you're right, he is a decent little price there.
Yeah, so I think just the point is, like, certainly watch this week.
Sorry, I accidentally just showed myself again.
You just been off camera for. I was like, we need to freshen this up.
It's just the most random time to do it. Sorry
when you said you're considering buying Appy, do you think that he's do you think Robson's pretty safe in this Blues side for the series?
He's another one I want to see how tonight plays out.
Yeah, okay.
If Blues get done, again, Robson's not going to play a bad game, I don't think. I don't know if he's got it in him. Touch wood.
Touch wood,
in the world.
Yeah,
but no.
I've tipped a lot of guys not to ever have bad games, which worries me a lot.
But no, I don't think he's safe. Yeah. And if the Blues were to get done and Robson didn't have a good game, Appy would be back in the frame. So with the goal-kicking concern, with origin concern, it's one that if I were to do it, it'd probably be round 16.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else, mate?
No, just the 4 today, actually.
Just the 4? No, they were good 4. Should we talk some trades?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm pretty boring this week. For the 5th week in a row, I don't want to make a trade, and I plan not to. If Armstrong is out, I am very tempted just to go with 16 this week because I'm happy with my 16. I think I can pick a good captain. That's if Lomax plays. If anyone else falls out of this side, which I think Lomax is only really my other big worry, and surely he plays. In saying that, Egan, Adam Vanilla Blake, I want to see them run onto the field first. I want to not make trades this week, mate. That's my plan of attack. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen, but I would be happy to play with 16 this week. I'm putting it out there. So I'm very boring this week, and I apologise to everyone at home for that. You might be a little bit more entertaining. What do you think? I know you're looking through me going, he's full of shit. Kid's going to use a boost this week.
Well, firstly, I was thinking you're an idiot. Secondly, I was thinking you're full of shit.
Both valid points.
You've got 2 trades available and you're willing to play a player short. Like, the player you bring in, every chance they're a 70, 80-point scorer this week, that's a lot of points for when you... It's not like you're using a boost to do it and you're going, I need to save this boost. It's 1 trade.
Yeah, but I'm running out of trades rapidly, and you know how I play. I like to have trades for the back end when this competition goes to shit and there's teams that refuse to get off the bus every week.
Yeah, because
and that's when I want to cash in.
Because you want to have a trade up your sleeve late in so that you're not playing a player short. You literally could be playing a player short this week.
Yeah, but I've got Latrell, I've got Fafita. I think I can score a good captain score and jump a couple of people. And I think a lot of people are going to be short and they're going to use a lot of trades this week to fucking get guys that they don't actually want.
Bro, when have we had a good captain score this year?
This week.
Why is it going to
Val
change?
Holmes, 144, round 3. Thanks for coming. Great captain score. Outside of that, it's been a shit fight. I need to start pocketing some trades.
If Armstrong doesn't play, and let's assume Lomax backs up, how many does that give you?
16. That's if I ring 1-800 Finay Fuiaki and bring him into the side, which I will be. So have your phone nearby, kid.
You'll be
that'll
trading.
leave him with 16. Okay, let me ask you this, Tim Williams. Of all your fucking wisdom, let me run this by you. If I was to make a trade this week, the options would be Smithies, Simi Sasagi, who's still only at 324k, which has been one of the hardest fucking carries of all time. He's already got a break even of 44. That's rank. Simi Sasagi or Nicho Hynes or Smithies. Those are the guys that I would be considering trading out. In the old Hillary Swank, I have 236k. What would you tell me to do? Are you a sell Nicho kind of guy? Are you a move off Smithies? Can I even if you can convince me into Eli Katoa? Can I even go Smithies to Eli Katoa?
No.
I can't. No. Okay, that really hurts. All the options.
I don't want to convince you on Eli Katoa because I'm sick of.
I'm not using more than one trade this week. I'm not going to Eli Katoa. Had that be known.
I'm not going to do trades for you on the spot, mate, because mine are all over the shop too.
Well, then if I'm going to sell Nicho Hynes, I have to go to. I don't even know. Sam Walker, Matt Burton. Oh, Matt Burton would be a juicy little pod play. Outside of that, no one's really. Jerome Hughes, I'm not a big. I don't believe in Jerome Hughes at the moment. There's just not much jumping off the page to me, and I think I would rather have that money. Mitch Moses is too much of a punt. Cody Walker interests me, but I think he's a punt with Origin as well. And Simi Sasagi, because he's fucking the price of 2 peanuts rubbed together. That's going to give me 560k to potentially spend, which not much doing.
Let's talk about the Stallions. Bryce Cartwright.
Thanks for calling me an idiot and saying I'm full of shit and then giving me no ideas whatsoever. Really appreciate
Bryce
it.
Cartwright.
The price is Cartwright. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Matto, Sean Lane. I don't know. Not huge on it. I've already got enough second rowers that disappoint me week to week. I don't know if Bryce is the right answer right now.
Oh, mate, I'll sort you out later. The Stallions. It's a bit hard because it's very dependent on what happens with Origin and in particular Nicho Hynes. Because if I was to trade Nicho Hynes, that's just getting me a bank of cash. If I go on the sell Nicho Hynes bandwagon, which I'm hoping I don't have to, I want to be holding, but I'd be looking at Nicho Hynes to Jerome Hughes. And then that also allows me Trey Fuller straight up to Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah,
which are pretty nifty trades. But like yourself, mate, I am conscious of trades and just the Nicho in and out. So it's hard because I don't want to sell Nicho, but I also want the Blues to win. If I want the Blues to win, Nicho to kill it, which will make Nicho a sell. So that's potential I'm looking at. The other thing is I've already got enough numbers for round 16, so I don't need to go too hard at it. So if I do use 2 trades this week to strengthen my team, I think I can quite easily save trades in the next 2 weeks. So that if I don't save them this week, I'm confident I can save 2 or 3 in the next 2 weeks.
Side note, the word nifty an underrated adjective.
Did I say it or did you?
No, you did. I always like to hear it. Don't hear it enough. Would you agree, Kat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The other one that I have a bit of interest in is I am currently running Curran, Hughes and Puaso Farmasili in the front row. Doggies have the bye next week. I'm going to be a front rower short. For all just saying that about the Sam Hughes hold, I I'm in a unique situation with those 3 doggies front rowers. I don't hate the Sam Hughes to Samuel Fainu.
If at the start of the year a betting market would have given me an overs-unders for the amount of times I'd hear the name Farmasilli,
Yeah.
I would have taken unders by heaps and I would have lost by heaps.
Yeah.
He just keeps hanging around, doesn't he?
He does. And he's about to hurt me next week with those 3 dogs. So I don't mind the Samuel Fainu play either with Bateman and Papali'i out long term. I think he's, they don't have many other options on the edge there. So 80-minute, dual to front row forward, good price still, low break even. I could get around that. Do you have him?
No, I really like him. I think he's a very good footballer.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to sit on my hands.
As I said, mate, Origin tonight, it's just going to impact trades massively.
Yeah. So I think you stay tuned to SC Playbook,
Yeah.
Roo Crew. We'll
We
let
both,
you know.
We both do podcasts tomorrow. So
Don't worry, guys. I'll post as well.
We'll be
so
covered.
you know.
Yeah, and
That's
Kat will
what we
let us
sort
know.
of do.
What are you doing this week? You said you got a plan in place.
Well, we briefly discussed, because I did come in last week. I just missed beers and breakevens, but we had briefly discussed more of a long-term plan for my team, shall we say.
I have no recollection of
That's
this. I apologise.
Wild. But does the fact that I have Joe Chan make you remember that we were thinking an upgrade?
Are you going to Eli Katoa?
But I
okay.
also, look, I'm in the position where I can make a couple of trades every week, not to flex.
You can make a couple of trades every single week if you want. Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Yes.
So I'm like, why not? So I can upgrade Joe Chan straight to Eli Katoa, still have 500 and something in the bank.
Rank. Yeah.
And then I've kind of just got those options there. So there's also the Fafita option. If
You don't have Fafita right
I
now?
don't have Fafita.
Question to you. If you didn't have Fafita, would you buy him, or is it once again, we have to watch Origin and see what happens there, but
I think I would. It's a really tough one because it's just the matchups he's got. It's 2 things: the matchups and the fire in his belly to win that spot back. Sorry,
Tempting.
Kat, but he plays the Bunnies and Tigers. It's like he could go big in those games when he's fired up. Kieran Foran back as well. He's massive for Fafita.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, at least at the minimum he'll get around 14 and 15. The issue though becomes, of course, if he does get, let's say if Blues win tonight, you'd think Fafita's a huge chance of getting called back in. He'd then miss round 16, 17. He'd play round 18 against the Sharks, then miss round 19. So it's a lot, but he's horrible not to own, and he's clearly the best in the position. So I would probably still buy. And there's also no guarantee that Billy picks him game 2 regardless. So I think the Spy's in the same position this week, and he said, like, he doesn't know, and he goes, reluctantly, if it looks like he were to potentially get a call-up game 2, he said he thinks he's just going to buy anyway.
yeah, really interesting. I love him as an anytime try scorer this week, Fafita.
Is he like $1.07?
He's like 280. This is where I reckon you're taking him first, second, or third.
Yeah, right.
Try getting about $6 for that. So
Nice.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I reckon he makes a bit of a statement this week. Okay, that's trades done and dusted. I don't ever want to talk about it again. Sip V starts. It's just survival of the fittest this week, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about El Capitanos. Options that I'm looking at: Timothy Williams. Guys that stand out to me, I'm looking at Drinkwater. I'm looking at Latrell. I am looking at Fafita. And that's probably it for me. I'm sort of deciding between Latrell and Fafita. I might go a Drinky. Oh no, I might go a Latrell or Fafita VC into a Drinky C. Maybe. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the same. It's tough on that. The Fafita v Latrell one. Like, if I do end up with Latrell in my team, is so tempting, and I think I prefer the Latrell upside, but my next best captain outside of the Fafita, Latrell, who are obviously in the same game, is definitely Drinky.
Yeah.
So you obviously can't do Latrell and Drinky. A big one for you and for everyone this week, Young Roo, is if you get your VC right and you get the free loop,
Yeah.
it might save the opportunity to use another trade, because you can play with your 17 or your 16 or whatever it might be quite easily. So I am leaning towards, I mean, Latrell's not actually in my team yet, so I'm certainly looking to Dave Fafita VC, Drinky C at this stage.
If you were me, mate, and if he plays on Friday night, Lomax v Tigers, Or do you prefer the other guys?
I prefer. Did Lomas get named on the wing or centre?
I think he's been named in the
Let
centres.
me have a look. I've got it here.
I'm pretty sure he's been named in the centres because Jack Bird's out. But I could be wrong. Oh, no, he's on the extended.
Oh, he's on the extended.
Yeah.
Do you think he plays centre or wing?
I don't know. I'd probably lean towards centre. Defensively, I think you're better off having him there, aren't you?
He's we've seen it this year. He's way better on the wing. As a non-Lomax owner, it actually makes me very happy. So I prefer the Fafita Drinky play.
I think Fafita's too hard to turn down at the moment, isn't he?
It's a great matchup.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you thinking as far as captains, Catmandu?
For me, it totally depends on my trades because if
Yeah.
I do bring in someone like Fafita, I'll definitely work him into it. But like we said, I've got Latrell as well. So I might make a play there.
I got a feeling about the Bunnies this weekend. I reckon they have a decent little game.
He's also running at, I was just checking, but Fafita
It'll be
will be
Jack,
running
won't
at,
it?
No, it'll be Cody Walker. Cody will play right. You'd imagine so.
Jack will play left. Yeah.
So,
fair.
because I was going to say, if it's Jack, like, not that it really matters who Fafita's running at, but Jack White, big, strong boy. Like, Jack will be going out there going, I'm not letting this big bugger get through me. Cody will be getting the turnstiles out for him.
And Cody's centre will probably be Tane then. Richie Canara play left, won't he?
I get
If he
confused
can play
every week
left
by
in
these.
Vegas.
There's a new team.
Either
every
way, I
week.
like that.
And
Yeah.
then Arrow or Cheekham, like which edge, either way. But regardless, he's running at Cody. That's the man. They'll isolate him on him. So I like the Fafita play.
Yeah, fair shout. Are we done?
We are.
Anything else to touch on? Anything else to add? Now, just a reminder, and we spoke briefly about this via text yesterday, we're still going to do the late show this week, but we're going to drop it on Thursday.
We're going to drop it on Thursday just because we normally drop at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, and I can't remember what it is. Something else is happening tonight at 8. So
Something else is on.
I just can't imagine there won't be many people tuning into it.
I think there's a new episode of Survivor out.
Yeah, that's it.
So
So we'll drop tomorrow. Time.
like that one?
That was great.
Thank you.
Time, maybe 3?
Yeah, I can throw you.
3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow for the late show. We said last week that we were going to continue with more other super pods.
Yeah.
We'll save that for next week, you thinking?
I'm thinking the bye week. I'm thinking around 16
Yeah, cool.
is a
I'm
good
happy with
chance
that.
to do it and go through super pods there.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, so we'll have the questions as we usually do in the next episode. That'll be 3 p.m. tomorrow. Enjoy your Origin footy tonight. New South Wales by 4. Jaden Sewer, first try. Zach Lomax, last try. James Tedesco, MOM.
Ugh, I'm a bit grossed out by you even mentioning a Queenslander in there, but
Yeah.
so be it. Blues by 2. Low scoring affair. Take the unders. Angus Crichton, first try scorer. Steamrolling Cherry Evans and Jeremiah Nanai. Man of the match. I'm all in on Teddy Boy with you.
Yeah, love that. Catmandu, got some tips for us?
New South Wales by 4. A tight affair also. First try scorer, Stephen Crichton.
Critter.
Yeah.
Love that.
Off an intercept maybe.
Rate that. Big game critter.
And in terms of Maroons, I'm going to say DCE to get a try.
Try?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
just feel like he's got it in him.
Yeah.
And also Olakau'atu on debut.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. You mentioned a Stephen Crichton intercept. Have you seen one of those before?
Oh, we're not doing this, man. Honestly, this has been the biggest character building episode for me. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's been
much.
a lot for you.
We will be doing a live show with the Bloke in a Bar crew at outside the Locker Room Hotel at 6 p.m. Bring your brollies.
Yeah, bring your brollies. Could be a wet and wild one out. It actually looks like it's going to be okay, but
be
bring
alright.
your brollies just
Yeah.
in case.
You don't want to miss it.
Yeah. So we'll see you tonight at the Locker Room, and plenty of content coming over the next 24 hours. Late show, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Up the Blues.